All right, so I'm recording again. I'll just kind of splice these two together. Obviously, I had a little bit of technical difficulties. Armando, so we're on your screen, and
Okay,
can you now take us inside of this ugly duckling technique?
sure. Okay, so the ugly duckling technique is sort of a hybrid of, physical mail lumped into, things with SEO. And the way this started, I think I told you this on the video that I shared with you, Mike. I was actually eating. I'm from Houston, so I was eating. Me and my wife were headed to a barbecue place, and we were looking for a menu on our phones. And the restaurant's website was really, really ugly, like so ugly that you couldn't even zoom in on anything and decipher anything even from the menu. And so I was so upset, and it dawned on me, there's thousands, if not probably millions, of these types of websites, these GoDaddy, website builder type websites, and agencies that designed these websites a long time ago, and they're just so ugly. If you could just reach them, and they're already spending money on advertising, AdWords, that sort of thing, then you could probably help them if you can get in front of them. So what I did is I looked up when we got back home. I looked up the restaurant's um, website, and at the very bottom of the website there was a signature, sort of like web designed by a certain agency. And I'm just going to pick this up here as an example. I didn't know if you were going to show this over here or not, but I wanted to try different examples for you.
Sure.
So what I did then was I tried to identify, this agency, who it was, and if they had any clients. A lot of times you can just go to their site and look up their client list, just kind of go through the list to see what their sites look like. But sometimes you got to find a footprint, and the footprint is always, web designed by or powered by or whatever the thing is at the very bottom. So what I did was I threw that into, Google in quotes, and it basically gave me everything, every website that had that phrase there, if you can see that. And a lot of these are their services, and a lot of these are their client services. And so if you look at this one here, this is a client of that agency, I believe. Um, and they are, web designed by this person here. This site is not really a great website. It's not, the best in converting. It's not the best in content, and it's certainly not the best probably
This
structurally.
is definitely an
So
ugly
like you can
duckling.
see, images look really small. Yeah, it's an ugly duckling website. Yeah. So I thought, how can I get in front of these people? I decided that maybe it was better for me to get in front of the agencies, because I know that maybe we can form some sort of, partnership where I can help them see what converts and help them get in front of the right people. And since they already have clients anyways, it's almost, you know, as a courtesy, I want to get in front of them. So what I actually did was I looked up the agency. I found out who the owner of the person who was making the decisions was in the agency. I then took a screencast of one of their clients, and I recorded myself going through this website saying maybe this call to action is wrong, your headings are could be improved, um, your content is really weak. Here's how you can improve this by adding a form over here, and just basically 5 or 6 things that they could, really use on a site that would increase their conversions. And then I burned that to a CD, and I packaged it up in an envelope, like a square manila envelope, with a little plastic trash can inside the envelope, um, and the CD. And I also embedded the video after I made it on my website on a page that was tailored to this agency's, um, person who was getting the information. I mailed it off, and that became sort of part of my prospecting piece. I'm going to prospect, I'm going to establish communication, I'm going to follow up, and then that's going to lead to them contacting me or me contacting them, following them up, which at that point is not really a cold call anymore. And then my whole goal was to set up a meeting for them and I to speak about how we can help each other out. And that's the process in a nutshell. Obviously, there's a lot more details that go into it, but that's the idea behind it. You find these ugly websites, and you get in front of the people who could use the help fixing these sites.
Yeah, I want to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share what I think is going on here that makes it so powerful in a second. We do have some new members for Project X just coming in. I noticed Christopher because Jason Fladlin just started a promotion for us, so we have actually a lot of new members today, and I want to welcome you guys. What just to help orient folks. What we do during these acceleration webinars, they're a little bit outside of the box. What I do is I go as much as possible, mostly from inside of our community, and figure out what's making money right now for our clients, for OMGers, for people, members of OMG NHB 2014 Project X and OMG NHB 2014 Project J. And on this particular event, we're going to probably be focusing a little bit more on client consulting, or maybe even a lot more on client consulting than on something like Amazon or affiliate marketing. That doesn't mean that OMG doesn't focus on Amazon and affiliate marketing. In fact, we're probably going to do an Amazon event shortly, like something that's very focused on Amazon, probably about this time next week. We'll probably do one. So I just want you to know kind of what's going on here, and that'll help orient you a little bit more. So now with this with this ugly duckling technique, let me tell you some of the things I'm seeing about it that I love. And this was kind of my introduction to Armando, was seeing him share this technique and becoming aware of it. There's something that David Mills calls a narrative when it comes to turning either visitors into customers. And this does bear on anything like affiliate marketing, Amazon. Anytime you're collecting money, there's some sort of a narrative that we have, client consulting, what have you. And our narrative is either helping us or it's in our way. Okay, it's one of those two things. I'm going to be talking about this a lot more in the days and weeks to come, and I think it's going to be really exciting. But let me give you two scenarios. Let's say one person contacts. What was the name of this agency again, Armando?
This agency is called, this is an example that I'm using. This is Car Cabin Web Design.
Okay, so let's imagine Joe Smith, who's kind of a fictional person I'm making up, contacts this ad agency that Armando's talking about and says, "Hey, I do SEO, and if you have clients, I can help your clients with SEO. And of course, I'm sure you do have clients because you're a web design agency. So let me know if you'd like me to do some link building for you." Okay, so that's one message. All right, does that make cohesive sense to people so far? I mean, number one, if that makes cohesive sense, what I'm saying. All right, all right. So that good. That makes sense. Now, let me give you a different message. Hi, my name's Armando. I prepared this special package for you. Obviously, you're reading this letter because you opened up a physical letter I sent you. This trash can, this little plastic trash can that you see, represents the money that I think you're missing out on. The money's kind of going into the garbage can, and I don't want that to happen for you anymore. And I've prepared this video. I've burned it to a DVD-ROM right here. You can put it right in your this DVD disc. You can put it into your computer and watch it, or you can go to this website, create this custom for you. It's custom made just for your agency, and it can help benefit people like your clients, like Drew's Limos, and can really put a lot more money in your pocket and can help you get more clients. So I'd like you to watch it. And then once they're watching the video, hey, this is Armando. I've got a number of really great looking websites that are not only great looking, but they appear often number one in the real Google search engines. I'll give you an example right here. One of them is NashvilleSEO.org. This is my site, and it ranks number one for Nashville SEO. And as you can see, it's a really great looking website. And what led me to reaching out to you was I came across Drew's Limos, Drew's Luxury Transportation, and I realized obviously you guys are doing a lot of things right with your agency. You're assembling a great client base, and you're doing a great job with pay-per-click marketing, and you're bringing a lot of value to people. I just realized that we could help you update and refresh your ability to put together great looking websites like this NashvilleSEO.org. And what you can do is you can actually reach out to your current clients and say, hey, it's time for a redesign and for you to get lots more visitors to your website for free. Okay. Now, I'm out of state now. I was in state while I was saying that, Armando. how many people feel like my second story is going to convert better than the first story? So the first story was, hey, I do SEO. I got totes from Brian. Yeah, I mean, probably people pretty universally believe that the second is better, right? Now, much better, Chris says. Yeah. Now, why is the second one better? Okay. David says because the second engages. That's what David Ritchie says. Armando, why do you think that the second one was better? Obviously, you do by your actions because that's what you do.
Yeah, I think the second one's better, much better.
So,
So,
what do you think about it? Like, what do you think some of the differences are?
well, the second one, you have somebody who's actually taking the time to find out who you are, not just anybody calling you, offering the same service. You have a message that was sent to you that was personalized, handwritten, envelope address that was sent to you with a CD that was burned to you about something specific to your business. And you have somebody who understands your business that is looking to build a relationship. In my mind, that is a much better position to be in than just a cold call to build some links.
Yep, yep, I love it. Let me share some of the feedback. We got great feedback from individuals on this event. Um, Paul says money for the agency. Yeah, I think it was more shaped around money for the agency. Henry says story was more interesting. I agree with that. Specificity, Jay says. Great word, Jay. Specificity, great. Christopher says it resonates with the business owner and builds rapport. I agree with that, Christopher. Jay says targeted and more customized. Yep. David Ritchie says the second one says what's in it for me. Great. We talked about that last week. That's great, Ritchie. Uh, Janine says praise the agency for what they're doing well, helps them accept what they're not doing well. Yeah, I like that, Janine. I didn't really even think about that. Um, Paul says, Armando, kindly elaborate on the plastic trash can, please.
Okay, so the plastic trash can, it's about the size of a red Solo cup with a lid on it. Now, you can put stuff in it, but the idea behind the trash can or the lumpy item is so that, and this is something that a trick I learned from Ed because Ed Stapleson's been doing a lumpy mail
Yeah,
for some time with
Ed's
different
brilliant.
things.
He actually appeared on an early one of these Project X acceleration webinars. I really enjoyed it. Sorry, go ahead.
So the idea behind the lumpy mail is so that the package doesn't actually sit with the junk mail. And because it's in an envelope that's addressed with a handwritten, ink on the address piece of it, it gets delivered directly to the decision maker, bypassing the messenger. And the little trash can is about the size of a Solo cup, and you can put something in it like a note that says, stop throwing money on inefficient advertising, or why to, you only get 70% of clicks through your AdWords campaign, that sort of thing. Just anything that can kind of get them thinking, really.
Yeah, I really like that. Christopher says, what other types of lumpy mail? Perhaps a shoe in a FedEx box. Now that I've got the door, yeah, it could be a car. This is the Ferrari you should have. Yeah. Henry wants to know is the trash can 3D? Yeah, it's a physical trash can about the size. It's about the size of one of the kind of small Solo cups, right? Like
Yeah, that's
about the like a finger span.
yeah, that's exactly about the right size, and they come in different sizes and shapes and everything. And it's just a little plastic trash can. Looks like a toy. My kid plays with a few around the house.
Yeah, Angela says go to the dollar store. They have all kinds of that stuff. Yep. So great. Lots of great feedback. I love the Ferrari you should have. Yeah. Elizabeth says a Caterpillar steamroller or a dump truck. Roll over your competition. Sure. Yeah. No, that's quite nice. The trash. Dave Key says the trash can isn't specifically important. Lumpy mail gets opened more frequently. Yeah, that's correct, Dave. It does get open more frequently. Now, the thing I want to focus in on here, though, the biggest thing is I want you to see in your mind's eye the reason why that's going on here. Okay, I really want you to see in your mind's eye um, how there's really a cohesive story that your intended customer is getting. It's something that makes sense. It feels, give me the number one if it feels like it's a natural story that we're talking about. Like if you felt like it's natural that Armando would contact these people. Yeah, the store owner is going to feel natural. We all get contacted with spam SEO requests. I'm sure almost everybody here does, where people are like, "Oh, I can do your SEO for you," blah blah blah, and it's just so non-specific. It's so impersonal, and it just doesn't feel natural. And that feeling that things are natural is so important. Another thing is this helps you engage. I'm so glad that Armando shared this because this helps gives you different ideas for how you can go after and look for potential clients. Looking for this is one kind of footprint. There's lots of other kinds of footprints out there for you to look for. And again, for you fans of doing Amazon, remember you can do Amazon for other people. You can do, any e-commerce store, any store that sells products, you could be listing their products on Amazon, so they could be potential clients. You can list them on Amazon, and you can also then rank their Amazon pages on Google. So please keep that in mind. Christopher says marketing is natural, marketing is good. Not everybody does it, but everybody should. Yeah, absolutely. Janine, a handwritten envelope is such a great way to catch our eyes. Absolutely. Dave Keys, you're entering the conversation and going inside their head. Yeah, absolutely, Dave. Dave says, I spend a lot of time understanding exactly what it feels like to be my target client before I talk to him. I got to bring Dave live. He's got a lot to say here. Sometimes I just sit and visualize what it's like to be that person and think about their problems. Absolutely agree with that, Dave. I think that's dead on. Armando, you have been such a gem here. I'm pretty sure that I lost the original recording from this event, the first 20 minutes of this event. So I'm curious, would you be willing to kind of repeat the highlights? Again, the way you wound up on this event, you shared a great new earnings report. You've just been with us for about a month now, almost a month to the day, and you shared your first $12,000 earnings report. And I'd like you to share again one more time. I think it's just so valuable for people to understand how you attacked OMG when you came inside. How did you consume it? What was your experience? What videos did you watch? How did they impact you? And I know we already covered that on this event, but if you could kind of summarize for people, I think that would be helpful because I lost that in the recording.
Sure, sure. When I first joined, the very first thing that I did is watch the law of implication videos, because I think those were the mindset videos. And mindset is such a crucial part of everything that we do. Uh, it's the difference between succeeding and failing, in my opinion, and getting to your goal or not making it. And so after the mindset videos, I just went down and saw from the top, started watching the intro videos and then your client consulting, getting videos, before I even dive into anything else in the forums, because usually there's so much information and things like this that I wanted to you know get everything I could get from the mindset videos. And really what I got out of everyone speaking about their experiences in client consulting and the mindset stuff and everything else was that when you guys are referring to client getting and money getting, I was leaving a lot of money on the table by not focusing, or by turning away the smaller fish that could potentially turn into more upsells for things that we do, or into referral sources.
Fantastic, fantastic. I really appreciate it.
So that was really what.
Yeah, can we go over to the Facebook page again? I'm not on there, but if folks wouldn't mind, please publicly praise Armando. It's just so valuable. Him coming on this event, and he's brand new to our community, and already just really contributing. I got to talking Armando. I got to talking to David Mills for a while after our conversation on Monday because it really affected me, and I really enjoyed it. And what David was saying is one of the things that he loves about OMG is how we have so many different voices, so many different kinds of people contributing. And for one person, Cotton will really speak to them. Like it'll almost feel like Cotton is like reaching through the screen and talking directly to you. For somebody else, it might be Scott Schaff really inspires you. Somebody else might feel like, Angela really, just makes horse sense to them. Just maybe they feel more like her, whatever. We have so many individuals inside of Project X that are contributing all the time, that are in the Facebook group, like Dave Keys I mean, Ed Stapleton you mentioned earlier on. Some people are more vocal, some people are more in kind of side conversations and so forth. Jim Utzinger, he's somebody who really speaks to me, and I really appreciate that. Some people love Jimmy Kelly. They just love them some Jimmy Kelly. Some people love Mary Summer. I mean, there's just so many different people in our program, and there's something about having more voices because you never know. And Armando, I want you to know this, by way of praising you and really just feeling personally very appreciative, is that there's certainly a couple dozen people right now at least that you're directly speaking to who will take some actions that they wouldn't have taken without you, and it might make all the difference for that individual. It could even be a $10,000 per month difference, like the difference between zero per month and $10,000 per month. So I really appreciate this myself, and I just want to thank you for just jumping right in and just being just so immediately successful, but also just so generous. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. If there's at the same token, if there's anybody who has questions or anything, I'll open it up and just feel free to ask whatever you want, and I'll be more than happy to provide what I've learned from all this.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Dwayne, are you there? Find out if Dwayne is still there. He was on earlier. He was stirring up trouble. Hope we didn't
Uh-oh.
lose Dwayne. Dwayne, come back to us. All right, we'll check back with Dwayne in a minute. Let me see if I can bring Dave Keys live because Dave was really. I think that Armando was really speaking to Dave, and it was really something powerful for him. Um, let's find out if we can get Dave Keys live here. Dave, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Yeah, I'm a passenger in the car right now. I'm on like G3 on the iPhone connected to the webinar. My wife is driving,
I
but
can
I
hear
really
her
wanted
laughing.
to.
That's great. Well, thank.
Yeah, she's laughing at me.
Well, please thank her for sparing you for us. You can tell her you're busy inspiring people and
Thank you.
helping change lives.
That's right. I'll tell you, this is encouraging me. Armando is just like firing me up about getting into this strategy because I've been thinking about it, and I said, well, I'll just do the online stuff. And then, I went on vacation. I started picking up clients on vacation. They just started coming out of the woodwork. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll just wait on that. But really, I need to jump in there and grab that niche that I'm looking at right now. And direct mail and lumpy mail is just like, oh man, he's doing it and killing it. I need to get in there and get in this game and make that happen and double my income. And I had just expressed to my wife that I need to create a strategy where I double my income. I hit that 30 to 40,000 a month mark, and just do whatever it takes to make it. Not just like the same niche, but break into a new niche and one that's a little easier than the one I'm in now. That's super competitive. And just high niches. And so it's really encouraging to me to jump in there and follow this strategy. So Armando, I just want to say thanks.
No problem, man. I give you a tip. This works better when you niche down. When you niche down and pick one industry, you want to go after it.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
works like
I've got it in mind precisely, and it's like I'm going to go for this. It's very targeted. If you go to my website, you'll discover it. It's like, well, I mean, we're friends here, so I can tell you, I'm looking at assisted living. It's just like a wide open niche. They have no idea what SEO is. They just know that they need clients, and they're paying boatloads of money to the syndicates, like a place for mom, to get every
right.
client. Yeah.
Wow. Well, take some action, man. Get out there and do it.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. I appreciate it. You
No.
were the kind of the tipping point for me.
Well, good deal. Good deal.
Hey, we might have lost Mike.
I think we did lose him.
I was
Yeah.
talking.
Well, we
Oh,
better
you're
keep
talking?
something going until he comes
Oh.
back.
I was talking, but I was muted. Sorry, I'm not used to being on this MacBook Air. It's really something because Dave, you're so successful inside of OMG. You immediately sprung up, and I know you've been in around the $20,000 a month range, and so it's really great to see that you still have the eye of the tiger and looking just increase your success. And I think that that's you're just a good feeling for everybody to realize that even somebody who's having a lot of success is looking to step it up and step it up. So, anyways, thanks so much for jumping on. I know it's a little bit awkward with being in the car and everything like that, but I think that this
Hey,
worked.
man, the technology worked. I'm amazed. It worked perfectly.
Love it. Love it. Okay, great. I'm going to mute Dave. Really appreciate Dave. Again, if you're on Facebook, please go to the Facebook wall and thank Dave Keys. Dwayne Armstrong, are you back yet, or do we lose touch with Dwayne? Find out about that. Yeah, I think somehow we lost Dwayne. Somebody's too busy shoving money in his pocket. And, it's gotten to be a bit overwhelming for him. I see there's a bunch of thank yous here in the Facebook group. I'm going to go ahead and thank you, Armando. All right, great. I want to include my thanks. All righty. So what I'm going to do is that
Muted. Unmuted. Muted. Unmuted.
okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a look here and see who else I can pick out of the audience, since I have a little bit of a slot here. So just give me a moment, and I'm going to pick somebody out of the audience. Kurt Anga, do you have a microphone? Can I bring you live?
Check, check, check.
Oh,
Check, check.
that you do, Dwayne?
What the hell? Showing now. Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Dwayne?
Hi. Yeah, Dwayne. Sorry, Mike.
Hey, Dwayne. Okay, well, this is exciting. We got you back. So
Yeah.
let's go inside of you. You sent me a great letter with a big fat paycheck. You picked up a paycheck for $34,000. Now, we've been hearing about this saga for weeks now. It started with a client where you're making a few grand a month, and then it stepped up and it stepped up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make myself a presenter and see if we can go back to me being as a presenter. We'll find out if that works. Show my screen. Is my screen showing, guys? Let me know.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, great. So, so you sent me this image, and let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna pull this up. I just know one place that I have it. All right, Dwayne. So here's this image you sent me. This is so cool. Kind of zoom in on it. So what's the backstory behind this big fat paycheck?
Well, again, this is a client I've had. I mean, I joined OMG back in January. Thanks to Alex Becker. I have to give props to that guy. He's one powerful human being.
Yeah, here's
but then again, watching David Mills, and so I guess I developed this client. I guess it was a development of trust, really, over time. They started me with, initial campaign of 7,000. 2 months later, we built enough trust up. They saw some results, obviously OMG style. Thank you very much, Mike and Greg. They basically doubled that to 15,700 and change. And then again, 2 months later, I basically had them convinced that, we got to look at the local markets a little bit more. They started seeing results. I was basically gaining anywhere from 50 to 60% control of the front page with their properties.
Mm-hmm.
And we slowly...
The Jimmy Kelly style domination then?
Absolutely, but more in a reputation management style instead.
What do you mean?
Well, again, exactly Jimmy Kelly. Sorry. It's pushing their brand name.
Yeah. So website, Facebook, YouTube,
right.
Foursquare, that kind of stuff?
Well, luckily, they're an international company, so they already had roughly 25, 30 of their own personal websites already going.
Okay, great. So you're actually able to rank a number of their websites.
Absolutely, yeah. Plus their Facebook, Twitter, all their social properties that they had going.
All right, great. Now, how are you reporting back to them? How is the conversation winding up where they're wanting to pay you more? Are they coming back to you and saying, "I want to pay you more," or are you saying, "Hey, I can do more for you"? When you're reporting back to them, how's that worked?
That's actually kind of a funny story how I came about this check. I was sitting back thinking, well, how much do I want to make this month? It was kind of I don't know, kind of a great thing about SEO. And I was thinking about ballparking them around the $5,000-6,000 mark range. He basically came back and goes, that sounds great. And I realize you're trying to save me money, but we'd really like to get this going and make it a central part of our campaign. So we're thinking more like the $8,000 mark range.
Wow.
So he actually came back at me with a higher number. And this has been consistent with this company. It almost seems that if I come in cheap or try to save them money, they're not really interested. They're interested in more about, I guess, maximizing their advertising budget.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It's good to be able to read clients, and to one of the things that Dave Keys was talking about earlier, just in the text box, is this idea of getting in the mind of your client and really thinking about what's in it for them. And
Right.
when you realize, hey, they're not looking for they're looking for scale, right? They're looking
Right.
to grow, and that's what they're thinking. And so, writing a big paycheck, that's not their concern. They've got cash flow. What they're worried about is not having, enough traffic.
Well, traffic, in their case, it's more reputation. They want to, the way Google's working the local results now, if you're searching, say, in Atlanta and say if you're searching in New York, you're going to get two different results for a national brand. I'm finding on consistent, only maxing out at, say, 50% of the page for nationally, and I have to beef up the local, and that's really what this is for, is actually beefing up cities in Canada and the U.S., in their local markets only. So that it's kind of picking up the other 50% that are lacking.
Yep, I love it. Well,
Yeah, so
I'm really grateful and appreciative for you sharing this. I'm going to jump back onto Facebook, and I want to thank Dwayne. Please take the opportunity to thank Dwayne publicly. Again, it's very, very valuable and very appreciated. Thank you. And this is, I think, Dwayne's third or fourth earnings report like this. So I'm just really, really grateful to him. And again, it's that just spirit of contribution. And I think the lesson here is that a small client can turn into a big client, and that's really goes along with what Armando was saying about being willing to take a $500 client, or being able to take a $1,000 client, because that can just ramp up and up and up and up. And especially when it comes to referrals, we've got one. I'll tell you, it's a Serve Pro. We've got one Serve Pro for Nashville SEO, and it seems like every other day she is telling somebody else about us, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. Kurt Engett, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Kurt, man, I pulled you in because I was afraid we had lost track of Dwayne, so I didn't know. It was kind of random that I picked you out of the audience.
I'll be the understudy.
Yeah, one of my favorite people, Kurt Engett. Kurt, so what's going on with your business right now?
Well, yeah, it's an interesting time to pick me. So things have really exploded. Like the past couple weeks or so, it's just really taken off in terms of new clients coming on board. I think I'm getting, I haven't even had a chance to add it up, but I think I'm bringing on about 10 new clients over the past 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh. Now,
Yeah.
now tell people I had no idea about this, right?
No, you had no idea. I've been too busy to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm weirdly psychic with these things.
Yeah.
But I really am. Like I can really pick these things out because I'm pretty in tune with people, and when I do hear, remember, I mean, keep in mind, it's a little like he could have said, "Oh crap, everything's in the crapper, everything's going bad, my business is taking on water." Of course, I would have been supportive. I would have been like, "All right, dismiss." No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Of course, I would talk to him. So Kurt, the last time I heard from you, you had just hit 5 figures per month. You just hit 10K.
Yeah.
And so, do you have an idea, any ballpark idea of how much your business has grown?
Between 50 and 100%. So I'm getting close to the 20K mark. Probably within the month I'll be over the 20K mark. That's
something I want folks to know. It may not feel like the difference between 10 and 20 grand is much, but it's a lot. I mean, that's really where you start feeling the flow. 20K. Kurt, what have you been doing? How you spill the beans? How you getting new clients?
I sit there and look at that myself too, and it's a lot of everything. Um, there's no one particular source. I've got referrals going on. I have some online leads. They're coming from everywhere. It's like a zombie apocalypse. But I think that if I were to nail it down to one thing, it's just getting out there and really being busy. Um, I do a little bit of networking, but not like going to BNI groups or things like that. I just, I make sure I get out and make the rounds, and it might be just talking to clients or other people. And what I found is certainly over the past year, the more times that I get out, or just the more that I do, it starts to snowball. So a year ago, getting leads was really the main thing on my mind. It was really kind of tough, and that was always the nut I was trying to crack. Right now it's, how do I deliver for all these leads while they're coming in so fast? So if you just keep at it, it's kind of funny that you pulled up my Facebook page, because I put up a little post on perseverance, and really to me that's all it takes. I think about this a lot of times, especially when I'm on the webbies. What does it really take for somebody to make it? And I don't think it takes anything special. It just takes that willingness to keep showing up and keep doing the actions. And if you do it, you're going to start to figure them out sooner or later. If you keep pounding the rock, it's going to crack.
It's really perfect that we brought you on, because that's, what Armando kind of began by talking about is just, he's always trying to get clients. He's just always looking for clients. It was the same thing for me. I mentioned last week that we're in talks with a guy who's worth a lot, worth $450 million, and it's his estimated net worth, and working with him on a big project, and I just wound up talking to him during my honeymoon, and that's how it happened. I mean, I just kind of always selling. And my wife does too. She sells. She's not even trying to sell. She's just so passionate about what we do. So she just got to talking to him as well, and was just like, oh, she was telling him about you guys and how successful you are, and how much how good Nashville SEO is, how our clients are doing great, and it just kind of comes out if you're always closing, if you're always putting the word out. Always, you have different places. You got your My City SEO is up, and maybe you're reaching out to some ad agencies or web designers looking, to make co-branding deals. One of the things that Cotton does, he's talked about this, is offering people a substantial referral fee if they bring visitors. If you just go and go and go for it. And this is, by the way, this is one of the reasons why I love folks taking a multiple streams of income approach. Look, your main thing may be affiliate marketing. It might be doing Amazon. That's great. But there's no reason that you can't also have a side business as SEO client consulting. And the reason why I say this is you never know when there's $1,000 per month or even $3,000 or even $5,000 per month check just sitting there waiting for you to reach out and grab it. I mean, look at Dwayne. If he hadn't, Dwayne, when you think about it, there was a point where you had to make a decision to interact with this client and keep going and going, or else you wouldn't have been able to grab this paycheck. And
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I actually send him video reports. I do a 1 hour long video. I use Cotton Grammar's Basecamp idea. I took a lot of ideas from everybody, really. Fletch, Jimmy Kelly, my goodness. There's just so many people. Jim Unsinger, Dave Kelly had some great ideas. Just so much, and really David Mills too really contributed a lot. Like Armando said, David Mills is kind of the key for me too. That's ideally what I started with when I hit OMG, and it really put everything into perspective for me, and made me realize that the only thing that's going to hold me back is me, right? So I'm just going to go for it, right?
Yeah. I really I second, third, and fourth that the biggest quality of life leaps that I've ever made in my life all surrounded David. David, for those who don't know, probably very few people do know, I wasn't a Christian when I met David. He actually testified to me, and that's how I came to Christ as well. And so it's quite wonderful. David Mills really is just what an unfair advantage he is for all of us. Well, I really wanted to keep. I really strived hard to keep this event to an hour. Of course, that never happens. That's okay. We're only over by a little. I just go ahead. Did someone want to say something? No. Okay, great. I really want to give my appreciation is jump back into the Facebook thread and give appreciation to Kurt for jumping on. I think that was invaluable, and I want to just thank him as well. Thank you, Kurt. And I don't know. This community has become so special and so vital. The success in it. I was reflecting on this earlier today. Oh, by the way, everybody, remember you got Greg Morris and the One Man Gang. He is doing coaching office hours tomorrow at 5 p.m. So make sure to jump in on that. This is extra access coaching office hours with Greg. Going to be really, really valuable. So jump on that. I was reflecting today on what it was like when David and I first started joining forces with Greg, and we get these emails from him. Boom, new ranking, bang, bang, 2 more. These great subject lines, and just ranking up a storm, everything. This is up, new rankings, boom, 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 day after day, popcorn's popping, pop, 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 boom, and now it's like that with earnings reports. It's $500 a month here, $1,000 there, $34,000 here. My first website's up. I bought my first PBN. Pop, 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 boom. And I really, I'm so thankful. We're a small, tight knit community here. There's not a huge number of us, but the success just really, really fires me up. And I want you to know that we care very much about your success. Give me a number 1 if you really get it. Or I don't know. Just give me like a hashtag caring if you really get that me and Greg and David care about your success, and you feel like Armando and Dave Keys and Kurt Anget and Dwayne Armstrong and the people you met on this event, Jim Utzinger and David Ritchie. That everybody here cares about your success. Give me a hashtag caring if you just feel like this is the city on a hill cares. I'm just kind of genuinely curious about that. How many people? Because it's a lot to type out. Hashtag caring. It's a big word. Got it from William Hawthorne. Yeah, we do care. And every individual here. Yeah, caring and sharing. That's a good point, Kurt. Tracy says, yeah. Armando, Richard, Bob, Ted. Hey, Ted. David Ritchie, Dave Sheehan, Brian Planis, Don Ethan, Pip Patton. It's really something to me because we're seeing people that joined at different phases, who joined this community because we only open it up a little bit at a time. Armando, brand new. Dave Keys, more beginning of the year. Kurt, you've been with us for a while. And I believe it gets easier and easier to help people jump in and jump in with both feet. The more, just to kind of bring this point back that David brought up, the more individuals in our program share and open their hearts and open their business and the techniques that wind up coming out like the ugly duckling that we learned today with Armando, that speaks to people, and you never know whose life you might be changing. Dwayne, I began a webinar a while back by talking about my very brief football coaching career, and it was a very brief and very successful freshman defensive football coach. And I had this thing I would say to them, which was because I just think that defense in American football is about turnovers, is about getting the ball away from the other team, interceptions and fumbles, just getting the ball away. And so I would say to my defense, I'd say, bring me the rock, bring me the football. And they would do it. Just play after play, they'd just rip the football. They'd strip the football. They'd catch the football, everything. The offense was terrified of them. And they would just run over to me and just jump up and down like a pack of hyenas. And when Dwayne sent me this check, he was like, here it is, Mike, I'm bringing you the rock again. And that just felt great. and that's there's different ways of saying it, but it speaks to me too. Is my point? Different people, and it's different times. I mean, I don't know why I thought to invite Kurt on to this event, and I don't know. Armando was somebody who just kind of spoke to Cotton, and so Cotton told me, and he's like, "Hey, you got to talk to Armando." Dave Keys told me that Cotton really spoke to him. Just uh, that it just clicked for him. Things that he'd said really clicked for him. So you heard earlier compliments to Ed Stapleton, for example. So whenever you're reaching out on a Facebook group or sharing an earnings report or jumping on a webinar, even making a comment, you never know whose life you might be changing, and indeed how that may come back and reflect on you very positively as well. Because if you know uh, uh, Cotton inspires Dave Keys, and then Dave Keys goes and inspires Kurt, and then Kurt gets me fired up, and then I do something more, then maybe it comes back around to Cotton. I mean, it's all connected. Really, we mean it when we say it's all connected. So I want to thank everybody for this event, and just really appreciate. I'm just at this moment in my life really feeling the appreciation for everybody who's here, and how the popcorn's really popping for everybody. So I want to thank you for jumping live on this event. Thank you, Armando. Thank you, Dave Keys. Thank you, Dwayne Armstrong. Thank you, Kurt Angut. Congrats to all of you on your new success. Thank you for everybody who jumped live on this event. I just really appreciate y'all. Who's newest? Armando's newest. So Armando, you get the privilege. We like to let people end the webinar. Sometimes it happens by accident. Sometimes it happens on purpose. Do you know how to end a webinar?
No, I don't. I
Oh,
don't know how to end the webinar.
So what you do is you in the upper right hand corner of your GoToWebinar control panel, there's a little X box. You exit, and then it says, "Do you really want to end the webinar?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna end the webinar." And then it's like,
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Everybody's ready.
We're ready, man.
God bless you.